Good evening and welcome to Emirates FA Cup second qualifying round replay here at the Horsefall Stadium, Bradford Park Avenue, taking on Blyth Spartans. Of course, this is a replay from Saturday's fixtures, just over 48 hours on from the 1-1 draw. We will quickly have a look at the teams before they join us out on the field. So starting off with Bradford Park Avenue. In goal, number 1, George Sykes-Kenworthy. Number 2, Lucas Adunston. Number 3, Zach Kersey. Number 4, Mitch Lund. Number 5, Jean-Luc Haverne. Number 6, Will Lancaster. Number 7, Harry Colville. Number 8, Lewis Hay. Number 9, Brad Doherty. Number 10, Chinedu Osadibe. Number 11, Will Longbottom. On the bench for Park Avenue, number 13, Danny King. Number 14, Will Callaghan. Number 15, Joel Orty. And number 16, Jordan Preston. As the teams join us out on the field, quickly I shall go through Blyth Spartans' team this evening. In goal for them is number 1, Alex Mitchell. Number 3, Michael Liddell. Number 5, Finn Cousin-Dawson. Number 6, Jack Bodenham. Number 4, Harrison Clark. Number 9, JJ Hooper. Number 10, JJ O'Donnell, who will be wearing the captain's armband this evening. Number 16, Elliot Forbes. Number 19, Joe Oliver. Number 20, Cedric Main. Number 24, Will McGowan. And on the bench for Blyth, number 12, Charlie Aitken. Number 7, Nicky Devedix. Number 18, John Shaw. Number 21, Michael Hogan. Number 22, Oscar Hartley. And number 23, Harry Arneson. The referee this evening is Oliver Noonan, with his assistants Taylor Metcalf and George Eaton. The teams are out with Park Avenue in their white and green, traditionally, shooting from right to left, with Blyth in a rather fetching away kit of red shorts, red socks, and a yellow top, as George Sykes-Kenworthy goes out into the middle. A little more on the fixture from Saturday, of course, 1-1. Blyth Spartans went 1-0 up through a goal from Jack Bodenham in the 22nd minute. And Harry Colville scored from a cross-come shot in the 82nd to equalise it, leading to tonight's replay. Both teams looking to progress and get their name into the hat for the next round. The next round will be Worksop Town for the winners of tonight's fixture, as we await for the referee to complete the toss. The captains are shaking hands. Blyth Spartans, of course, 6th in the league this season so far in the Northern Premier League. Not the Northern Premier League. In the National League North is Bradford Park Avenue, who are in the Northern Premier League, who are currently sat in 16th place. As we are almost ready to get the game underway, Blyth Spartans just having a little huddle before kick-off. The floodlights are on. The rain has thankfully stopped. I can't guarantee that it'll stay away, but the pitch is looking good, and we're getting ready to start with Will Longbottom ready to kick off. The referee checks if the goalkeepers are ready. And we're underway here at the Horsefall Community Stadium as Will Longbottom plays the ball back to number 6, Will Lancaster. He looks to play a switching ball over from right to left into the Spartans' half, and that is headed out for a throw-in just in front of the Blyth bench. Ball bounces around a little bit after coming into play, and Lancaster regains control of the ball, but he's slightly wasteful in possession as Blyth look to drive forward here on the right-hand side. The ball goes out for a Park Avenue throw-in. Lewis Hay looks to get things started quickly. He goes forward looking for Chinos Adibi, and the ball comes to nothing. Interesting just to see the pace of play so far as Elliot Forbes looks to switch the ball out onto the left-hand side in Blyth's half. Plenty of time on the ball, just controlling it. Back into the centre where Elliot Forbes. He looks to be sitting deep. Oh, but the ball goes forward from centre half and the ball's lost. Park Avenue look to regain it and go forward, but they cannot keep control of the ball. But it will run out for a Park Avenue throw. Just me on commentary tonight. Arthur Difford, Sam Wright obviously was here on Saturday for the 1-1, but it is just me this evening as Park Avenue play the ball out to this evening's left back Lewis Hay, who takes the ball over the halfway line, looks to chip a ball in behind for Will Longbottom, but it's headed away smartly. And it's well played from Harrison Clark, who's in for this game. Harrison Clark, I don't believe, started on Saturday. He replaces Joe Oliver in the starting 11 for Blyth Spartans, as they now take their turn with the ball. Will McGowan plays it inside to Elliot Forbes, who goes again over to the left wing now. No particular tempo now, just waiting to select the right ball as they go forward, looking to loop a ball into the box towards Cedric Main. But it's headed away and Doherty will regain the ball. But his pass goes astray. Dunson comes flying in with a crunching tackle, but it won't quite come off for them as number 9 for Blyth, JJ Hooper, can't quite do it. And now Will Longbottom will pick up the ball and he goes driving through the centre of the field. But he's tackled. Neither team particularly doing much with the ball so far. Interesting to see how things are going ahead. Only 3 minutes gone, of course. Ball goes in over the top, looking for Cedric Main. He's there on the left wing, twisting and turning, trying to take on Mitch Lund. He cuts back inside from the byline, takes perhaps a little bit of a heavier touch, but he still stays on the ball and he finds the left winger now. He plays a good ball in, looping over to the back stick, and it's headed away by Lewis Hay. Controlled by a Blyth player in the box, but Brad Doherty does well to regain the ball, and he goes down the left wing with a ball that just trickles its way back to Harrison Clark as Blyth regain the ball. Perhaps a little bit of a scare for Park Avenue there. Cedric Main did well to keep control of the ball and lay it out to the left wing, where a dangerous ball was hung over to the back stick, but it was headed away by Lewis Hay. Lewis Hay, obviously on dual registration with Silsden AFC here at Park Avenue. Blyth just controlling the ball in the back. Oh, and it's played forward. It's a lovely turn from JJ O'Donnell. He puts the ball towards the area and it's headed away for a Blyth Spartans corner. 4 minutes in. Blyth definitely having more of the ball in this early stage of the game as they send a few of the big lads forward, see if they can get on the end of this set piece. It'll be Joe Oliver. Oh. It'll be Joe Oliver to play the ball in. His searching ball finds the head of Jack Boddenham, of course, scorer on Saturday. But his head goes over the bar, but the referee deems it as another corner. I don't know whether goalkeeper George Sykes Kenworthy got a touch on that, but it will be another corner from now the right-hand side. The ball comes back in swinging towards the 6-yard area. It goes flying up in the air about 20 yards and its ball's bouncing around. Nobody can quite gain control of it and it's cleared into the night sky, looking for Zach Kersey. He can't quite get a hold of the ball. And Blyth Spartans go forward once more now. Again, the ball ends up at Cedric Main and he goes outside towards JJ Hooper, who puts a ball in with his right foot, bending, looking towards that back post. I'm not sure if it was a cross or a shot, but it has been headed away for a Blyth throw-in on that left wing there. Blyth definitely with some sustained pressure here. Park Avenue doing well to keep it tight at the back at the moment, as they're just waiting to throw the ball into play, and it does come into play. A little 1-2 between the thrower and JJ Hooper. And the ball comes in, and it's punched away strongly from George Sykes-Kenworthy. That's good to see from the goalkeeper. But it, again, will come to a Blyth Spartans beat. Oliver out here on the wing. He plays it inside. Forbes on the ball again. Looking for a ball in behind. Doherty does well to recover. Covering in at left back there. And the ball goes looping forward. Looking for Chinos Adibi. He goes charging. Charging down Finn Cousin-Dawson, who is on loan from Bradford City here at Blyth Spartans. But he does well to recover the ball, and it goes forward once more. Cedric Main doing well to hold up the ball and find out the left wing again. Interesting to see how much he will do of that tonight. I think that's already 3 or 4 times he's managed to hold the ball up well and switch it out onto the side as Sykes-Kenworthy goes short into Will Lancaster's feet. But Will Lancaster is rushed into playing it back towards Sykes-Kenworthy, who then goes long towards Doherty. Doherty is challenged, and the ball comes out off Doherty for a Blyth throw-in in front of the Park Avenue bench this time. And the referee just tells Joe Oliver, just bring it back a few yards, please. The throw-in comes in from Oliver, who controls it. Plenty of time on the ball for him. He goes down the line, and he just can't quite grasp that pass. And it trickles out for a Park Avenue throw-in with Lewis Hay to take. 8 minutes in here. Lewis Hay just drying the ball on his shirt. Like I said, the rain is just coming down again now. Slippery surface here. Of course, artificial surface here at Bradford Park Avenue here at the Horsefall. As Park Avenue finally have a little bit of time on the ball here as Luca Havern controls the ball, plays it into Hay. Hay looks down the line and scuffs his pass out of play just in front of the Blyth coaching staff. They'll throw the ball in, and Cousin-Dawson will control. Play it back here to Clark, who goes forward into JJ Hooper, who then goes back to Cousin-Dawson. He goes across to Bodenham, who looks to play the ball forward into Cedric Main's feet. The ball is cleared by Park Avenue. Over on the far side, the Blyth player has to do a little bit of limbo under the fence to go retrieve the ball. But he's back on the touchline now, ready to throw it in, and it does go in towards Cedric Main once more. But Luca Havern does well to regain the ball, but he goes driving forward, and a strong challenge from JJ Hooper, but fair challenge all the way. He's good. Chinos Adibi chasing down again, causing Cousin-Dawson some problems. Is the number 10 for Park Avenue. He goes back to Brad Doherty, who has Brad Doherty on the edge of the area. He set himself with a touch, and he's absolutely fizzed a ball into the top right-hand corner. No curve, just a straight line, and beat the keeper. 1-0 Park Avenue here after 10 minutes. Again, we're underway here. What a goal, and that's a dream start for Park Avenue after not having much of the ball. Like I said, first time they went forward, really, but fantastic work from Chinos Adibi there. Fantastic. As Cedric Main now goes forward down the right wing, he beats Luca Havern for pace and puts a ball across the area. Dangerous ball. Lucas Dunstan's there, but it falls to a Blyth player. It's still bouncing around the area. Shot now from number 20, the captain. Another shot. It's bouncing around, and it's cleared finally. And the rain is really coming down now. I mentioned it earlier that it might hold off, but it definitely hasn't. 1-0 Bradford Park Avenue, and the heavens have opened. Cedric May now out on the right wing. Doherty just shepherding him after scoring an absolute thundercracker. But Blyth again, control the ball. Fantastic ball put inside to Will McGowan. Will McGowan driving into the box, and it's 1-1. Fantastic work from Will McGowan there. And that is exactly what Blyth Spartans will have wanted. An instant reply in the 12th minute. Will McGowan takes the ball just outside the box with his right foot, goes driving in and does well to poke the ball into the near post, the bottom right-hand corner. That is exactly the reply that Blyth will have wanted. And it's 1-1 now. Could we be due some more goals? Let's have a look as Will Longbottom gets us going once more. Well, 2 goals in the first 12 minutes. Bit of FA Cup football. Lewis Hay goes inside, finds Harry Colville, who perhaps takes too much time on the ball, and a bit of a lack of communication there as Forbes regains it in the midfield, and the goal scorer, Will McGowan, will play the ball, and Blyth Spartans look fantastically composed on the ball this evening. As they just play the ball from left to right, across the back four, patient. The ball comes on the right wing now to Oliver, who goes and crosses over the whitewash of the halfway line. But the ball is cleared from his early cross. And the ball will end up back with Alex Mitchell in the Blyth Spartans goal. He fizzes one out to Will Lancaster and he can't quite control, and the ball will run away from him for a Blyth throw-in. Back in play now, playing it round the back are the Spartans. Going forward, but it's a loose ball this time. Going out for a throw-in in front of the Park Avenue bench once more. It's a couple of times that Joe Oliver has played that loose ball down the right flank. Throw-in comes in from Hay, but the goal scorer Will McGowan does well to regain the ball, and he calmly plays the ball back to his goalkeeper from the halfway line. Again, Blyth rather content to just take the time with the ball at the back as they go look forward, looking for Cedric Main again, the Suriname-born striker. Well played from Cousin Dawson there. Just turning his man, dropping the shoulder. Plenty of time on the ball for Blyth. Park Avenue staying compact, not pushing too high. As it goes forward to JJ Hooper now. The left back of Spartans plays it forward towards JJ O'Donnell. And the ball switched out rather quickly now, out to Oliver here. Into McGowan. Midfield doing really well for Blyth here, everywhere. Clark has the ball now at the back, and his pass is loose to Hay. He goes forward to Doherty, who can't quite beat his man, but it'll go out for a throw-in for Park Avenue. Will Lancaster picks up the ball and has a bit of room and looks to play a crossfield ball into the wind and the rain. And it can't quite be controlled by Zach Kersey over on that far side. Blyth Spartans throw-in. The ball goes in towards Elliot Forbes, who then plays it back towards Cousin Dawson. And they just play it from left to right once more. Perhaps a loose ball there. Great work from Zach Kersey there, who intercepts the pass from goalscorer McGowan. It goes to Chinos Adibi, who perhaps takes too much time on the ball there, and it's regained from the goalscorer McGowan. They go forward towards captain this evening, JJ O'Donnell. He goes out wide to JJ Hooper, who's one-on-one with the Dunstan. Beats the Dunstan. Tries to go inside one more and plays it back into the midfield. Well defended there. McGowan goes forward once more. Oh, And the referee's blown for a free kick around 30 yards outside of goal. The ball went forward from McGowan towards Cedric Main. Luca Haven came in with perhaps a strong challenge, but I thought he got the ball there, and the referee deemed it otherwise. Free kick to Blyth. Again, 1-1. Goal after 10 minutes for Brad Doherty with a great strike into the top right-hand corner. But the lead only lasted for 2 minutes as Will McGowan pipped one in at the near post to make it 1-1 here. 16 minutes gone, 17 minutes gone, sorry. McGowan over the ball. The left-footed player doesn't look to be shooting. There's only a one-man wall of Zach Kersey. I think he'll just chip it over towards the back post. Plenty of space out on this right wing here for Joe Oliver, and he does go to Joe Oliver. Brad Doherty will go out and press. Oliver goes back to McGowan on his left foot. Turns Zach Kersey. What can he do on his right foot? Driving down the right wing. Turns back onto his left foot. Hangs the ball in towards George Sykes-Kenworthy. And that was a fantastic ball there. Just across the face of goal. But Sykes-Kenworthy did well to come and collect. As he goes out towards Will Lancaster, looking to drive out from the back. But he's forced to turn and go back to the left back, Lewis Hay. Park Avenue just need to try and keep their foot on the ball a little bit if they can. But there's a deep line of 5 for Blyth Spartans. Will Longbottom and Chinos Adibi got a lot of work to do up there this evening. But Park Avenue just slowly play the ball across the back line. Mitch Lund turns and plays it back to goalkeeper Sykes-Kenworthy, who goes across to the left-hand side of Luca Havern. He goes back to Sykes-Kenworthy, back to Luca Havern, and Luca Havern now plays it onto the left side. Hay, who looks to go forward. He goes inside with a nice ball to Lancaster. But Lancaster's ball is a little bit loose and it's picked up by Cedric Main. Although Cedric Main's pass is even looser. And the ball will run out for a throw-in right in the corner of the half. And Blyth will be looking to pin them in to this corner. Park Avenue looking to get out. It'll be Hay who has to take the throw-in. It's a long throw going forward, looking for Doherty's head. Doherty wins the ball, but it's won by Bradford City on loan man Cousin Dawson. Bit of head tennis in the middle of the park. Longbottom will bring the ball down with a lovely piece of control. And he'll go back to Lewis Hay. He switches the ball out to Lucas Dunstan with a bit of room. Cedric Main had an opportunity to bring the ball down, but his touch was loose and eventually found a Dunstan. Lancaster goes out to Zach Kersey. And Park Avenue regain the ball, keeping it nice around the back. Luca Havern with it now, just 5 yards out from his own area. Going across to right back Lucas Dunstan. 20 minutes gone here at the Horsefall 1-1 between Park Avenue and Blyth Spartans. Havern goes to Hay, and Hay goes back to Havern. And he has to play the ball back to Captain Sykes-Kenworthy, who looks to play a ball into the right wing. And with the water on the surface, you'd think that will just run out, and it will. It will run away from Zach Kersey, chasing down the ball. Throw in halfway in to the Blyth half for the Spartans. They look for a long throw, and it's Lancaster who'll kick the ball over his head. Doherty does well to control, and it goes to Hay, but he has to turn his back towards goal and play it back to Sykes-Kenworthy, who with the left foot plays the ball downfield, and it's a good kick down the line, and it'll run out of play, unfortunately. Nobody particularly putting Blyth under any pressure there, as Oliver will have the ball in his hands. The rain has now stopped here at the Horsefall. And it'll come to Park Avenue back at the back with Dunstan, who goes forward and again has to turn back and play the ball towards Mitch Lund, the centre half. He goes inside to Will Lancaster, who's good on the half turn. Yeah. Plays the ball to Lewis. Hay here. Hay looking for a ball in behind, and that's a good ball into Will Longbottom, who's running it towards the left-hand corner. perhaps lose the ball slightly. But it has to be cleared by Blyth as Park Avenue have the ball halfway into the Blyth half. Some nice one-touch football from Park Avenue there. Doherty, Lancaster and Longbottom. And the ball will be switched over to a Dunstan on the right-hand side. Zach Kersey plays a nice ball back to a Dunstan. Little 1-2 there. And Park Avenue will have a throw-in. Again, this is probably only the second time that Park Avenue have had any of the ball in the Blyth half since Brad Doherty's great finish in the 10th minute. Perhaps a little bit of a hospital pass from Mitch Lunn there. Went to Luca Haven. He played the ball out wide and some tidy feet from Hay. His ball goes forward to Chinosadibi, who takes a bit of a loose touch off his knee and his face, I believe, but did well to regain the ball. Yeah. The ball goes in, but it's cleared. And Zach Kersey puts a challenge in. And it'll come to Harry Colville, of course, scorer on Saturday with a cross-come shot. And he put in a ball there from a similar area from where he scored at the weekend. But goalkeeper Alex Mitchell came out to collect quite comfortably. And he rolls the ball out to Blyth's defence as they just roll the ball between them at the back. Again, Park Avenue with a bit of a set shape, not particularly pressing too high, just Chinosadibi up there at the moment. McGowan plays the ball back to Harrison Clark, and he looks forward, but it comes off the back of Will Lancaster. Doherty goes driving, but his ball's loose, looking for Chinosadibi, and it will be regained by Michael Liddell, who will play the ball back to the goalkeeper. Michael Liddell got a little bit of a history, no pun there, sorry, a little bit of history in the FA Cup. In 2010, he made an appearance for Sunderland in a 3-0 win over Barrow, a team that featured the likes of Jordan Henderson and Darren Bent. So he's been in the FA Cup a fair few times. Over on that left-hand side, he will take the throw-in now. Well, he might do at some point. There he goes, into captain this evening, Jonathan O'Donnell. But the ball's regained from Park Avenue. As the ball goes long, and it's regained by Blyth. Great ball inside from the centre half into the goal scorer, Will McGowan, who's looking to drive again, but it's well read from Mitch Lunn there. Will Longbottom comes back and regains the ball with a nice turn, and he goes out onto the right-hand side looking for Zach Kersey. He turns back inside, goes to Longbottom, and the ball ends up back at Luca Haven's feet, who goes out into Lewis Hay, who's got a bit of room to drive into ahead of him, over the halfway line into the Blyth half. He plays a tidy ball into Brad Doherty, who looks to play it back towards Lewis Hay. He will get there, but it's well blocked from the Blyth defender, and the ball stays in play, and he goes forward looking for Cedric Main, but it's intercepted by the head of Will Longbottom. And Brad Doherty will regain the ball here in on the left wing in Blyth's half. But with no options available, he is forced to go back towards Luca Haven, who's got plenty of time on the ball. Out to Mitch Lund and back to Luca Haven. 25 minutes gone here. 1-1 is the score. A goal for Park Avenue through Brad Doherty in the 10th minute and a goal through Will McGowan in the 12th. Means that we are level here in second qualifying round replay of the FA Cup. Of course, there must be a winner tonight to play Worksop in the next round. Sykes Kenworthy looks to go long from the ball at his feet, looking for Chinosadibi, and a foul will be given there. Chin's been absolutely cleaned out as the referee comes over, perhaps to have a word. No, just a check on Osadibi, who goes down holding the back of his head. Free kick, just 5 or 10 yards into the Blyth half. Perhaps a chance for Park Avenue to use the ball, perhaps not. Nobody's going forward particularly. Brad Doherty just takes opportunity to take a little bit of fluid on board as he receives a water bottle over to the bench and throws it back, and it wasn't a great throw, I'm going to be honest, Brad. Sort of rolled along the floor, but the ball's back in play. with Sykes Kenworthy. Who goes out to Mitch Lund and back out to Lewis Hay, who's had a fair bit of the ball tonight of what Park Avenue have had. It must be said that Blyth have definitely had more of possession this evening. Pressing well at Blyth as well, but the ball remains at Park Avenue's feet as Doherty receives the ball on the halfway line. But he's forced to run backwards once more, and Luca Haven gets the ball. He puts the ball into the night sky again, swirling around, and the ball's won by Forbes in the middle by Blyth. But Doherty does really well to drive forward through the midfield. Osadibe plays it out wide to Will Lancaster on the right-hand side, and it goes forward into Zach Kersey's feet. Zach does well to control the ball and goes back to Will Lancaster, back to Zach Kersey, and back to Mitch Lund. Plenty of the ball for Park Avenue's 2 centre-backs this evening so far. I'd imagine they've had the most touches for the team in white and green. Luca Haven looking to play a ball forward now. Looking for Lewis Hay, and he does well. Curves his run inside, but his pass is not quite as pretty as that run. And Blyth will regain the ball here on the right-hand side with Oliver back to Harrison Clark. And they have time on the ball again. Goes to Cousin Dawson inside, and he ships it out to Jack Bodenham. He goes forward to JJ Hooper, and the ball just goes back to him. Both sides quite content to have the ball with centre-halves at the moment, as Matt Clark will have it out on the right-hand side here. Doherty just screening him, not allowing him to play the ball down the right-hand side towards Joe Oliver. Yeah, it then goes back to the goalkeeper, Alex Mitchell, whose ball goes into Cousin Dawson, who then goes on to captain JJ O'Donnell. And Blyth regain possession. Well, keep going with possession, sorry. Back to Alex Mitchell in the goal. In a purple strip tonight is the Spartans goalkeeper. Max Clark with a searching ball forward. Is controlled nicely on the right thigh of Gianluca Havern. He goes forward, and Doherty can't control. He's beaten in the air, and it's controlled well by Harrison Clark. They go forward toward goal scorer Will McGowan. Goes out to Hooper, and he goes forward to Cedric Main. A big challenge comes in from Gianluca Havern. Main does well to keep the ball. It goes into JJ Hooper from Main. Ball in the box. Oh, and an effort from Will McGowan. Clearly has a left foot, even though he did score with his right foot. A little bit of a toe poke, but it still went into the net. But his left foot, trying to look to curve it into that far post from just outside the area, comfortably found the hands of George Sykes Kenworthy. Mitch Lund on the ball, driving forward, caught on possession, but the ball goes to Zach Kersey. And it'll end up back with Sykes Kenworthy in his red top, red shorts, and dark grey-black socks, I believe. He goes in to Will Lancaster, who plays the ball out wide to Lucas Dunstan. He looks to drive forward into the middle third of the pitch. Plays it into Chin Osadibe. And Chin tries to play a first-time ball, quite a tidy little pass off the outside of the foot, but it doesn't find Lucas Dunstan. Lewis Hay does well to win the ball and keep it with a little Cruyff turn. He plays the ball back to George Sykes Kenworthy, and he takes no prisoners. Hoofing the ball downfield for a Blyth throw-in. It will be Jonathan Hooper. No, it won't. Sorry. It'll be Joe Oliver to get the ball back into play from this throw. A little bit of triangle play from Blyth allows them to keep the ball, and the ball goes forward into JJ Hooper this time. And the ball goes searching for Cedric Main, but the flag goes up from the linesman just in front of us with the checkered flag. So Lewis Hay slid on the floor, and a fair bit of water came up. You can see that there's plenty of moisture out on the surface out there. Luca Haven will take the offside and go back to goalkeeper George Sykes Kenworthy. 32 minutes gone here in the first half of Emirates FA Cup second qualifying round replay action. Brad Doherty does well to turn and keep the ball. And he's brought down, but the referee says no. And Joe Oliver plays the ball inside to Elliot Forbes. Elliot Forbes then plays another 1-2 with Oliver and switches the ball now onto the left-hand side in Jack Bodenham. He goes inside to Cousin Dawson, who is allowed to take the ball 10 or 15 yards further up inside his own half. He goes in to Michael Liddell, who then plays the ball back to Cousin Dawson, and the ball goes into McGowan, and he tries to drive forward a little bit, but the ball is regained by Park Avenue in Lewis Hay, the number 8 left back this evening. Will Lancaster does well with the ball in the middle, but it will end up with Blyth Spartans. Oh, but a little mix-up in control, but he's done well there. Good strength from Elliot Forbes. Allowed him to not quite lose the ball, but his pass did go astray. And again, Lewis Hale to take the ball down this left-hand side. Brad Doherty cutting in from the right-hand side. They won't want to let him do that after what he did in the 10th minute. But his ball just runs through to the Blyth goalkeeper. Mitchell finds Forbes in the middle of the park, who turns on the half. And Will Longbottom looks just to be holding his elbow at the moment as Blyth cross into Park Avenue half. Well, the ball goes out for a throw, which they take quickly and throw backwards towards Jack Bodenham. He switches the ball out to Harrison Clark, who's allowed to just walk a few paces with the ball. Who goes back into Cousin Dawson, back to Bodenham, and now up the line into the Park Avenue half to JJ Hooper. Their ball goes forward, but it is lost and now goes down the right-hand wing looking for Park Avenue attack. And Will Longbottom goes chasing. And Cousin Dawson's left with no choice but to put the ball out for Park Avenue throw-in. Just about 10 yards from the corner flag on that right-hand side. Zach Kersey with the ball in hand. Loops the ball over looking for Chinos Adibi, but it won't get there. As Luca Haven does well to meet the clearance on the full with a volley forwards, but it'll just trickle off a head of a Blyth player into Alex Mitchell's hands, who plays a nice looking kick for a goalkeeper. That sort of one-handed little side kick, but it rolls all the way through to Sykes Kenworthy, who controls the ball and takes it back into his own box, picks it up, and does well to throw it out to Lewis Hay. He throws it out onto the left-hand side. And number 24, Will McGowan, just seems to drag back Lewis Hay. The referee agrees and blows up for a free kick, which is taken quickly. Lewis Hay doing well out on this left-hand side. Had quite a bit of the ball as it comes to him once more here. He goes forward to Doherty, who's put under pressure from Oliver. And Doherty manages to keep control of the ball and goes inside to Lancaster, who drives, fouled there, advantage played. Cedric Main just leaving one in on him, but he managed to stay on his feet and keep the ball. Did really well there. Now Lucas Dunstan goes driving forward, turns back inside, goes into Will Longbottom, who plays a first-time ball into Lancaster's feet. He looks to go driving forward, does well to get a touch after being tackled, but the ball, unfortunately, for Park Avenue, will run out for a goal kick. Just can't quite get it rolling up there. Neither team particularly having much in terms of shots on goal and getting forward. Of course, 1-1 after 36 minutes here. I'll just remind you of the goal scored. Brad Doherty scored in the 10th minute with a fantastic goal, cutting in from the left-hand side and hit the ball. There was no bend on the shot whatsoever. It just straight-lined into the top right-hand corner. But no more than 2 minutes later, there was an equaliser from Will McGowan, who drove into the box and just tapped it home with it, I think, his toe poke. And it just rolled into the bottom right-hand corner to make it 1-1 as Blyth have the ball on the left wing. They go back to Elliot Forbes, sorry. Elliot Forbes hangs the ball into the box. Rather good looking ball. And McGowan, I believe, perhaps thinks he should have done better there. Sort of free at the back post and just passed it nicely towards Sykes Kenworthy. Could have been 2-1 there if he'd have taken that chance a little bit differently. But Lewis Hay will now have the ball and he goes forward. But Mitchell is wise to it, comes out, collects it on the edge of his box. Comes out to the edge of his box and collects the ball and looks to play it quickly. As they play some nice play on the right-hand side of the Spartans. Clark goes inside to McGowan. He goes out to Oliver, and Lewis Hay has to make the challenge that goes out for a throw, and Oliver throws it back to Clark. And Cousin Dawson will just receive the ball and play it back to his goalkeeper. He'll go back out to Clark, who goes forward, looking for Cedric Main. Fantastic hold-up play. He's done that very well tonight. Back to goal. Just dropping into that hole in between midfield and attacking. Being strong enough to keep the ball and deliver it out wide. Now out on the left wing, Michael Little driving forward, but he'll be quite frustrated with that. Ball just ran away from him there. Zach Kersey will take the throw. No, it won't be. It will Lucas Dunstan, sorry. He will take the ball out, take the throw in out on that right-hand side. The ball eventually will come into play with a long throw in down the line, looking for Chinos Adibi. But the header goes up and McGowan wins the second header, but Mitch Lund wellies the ball forward and Cousin Dawson just nods the ball comfortably back to the man with the gloves on, Alex Mitchell. He goes out to Harrison Clark and he plays a fantastic ball over once more to Will McGowan. Will McGowan perhaps a little bit unlucky with the bounce there. Any different there, and he'd been able to bring that down. And George Sykes Kenworthy had come a long way, and he'd have perhaps been able to take it round him and tap it home. But Park Avenue will come forward now with Lancaster going out to Kersey on the right wing. He goes in to a Dunstan who drives back down the right hand side, goes out onto the byline, the touchline, sorry, of Will Lancaster's feet, who then goes back to Harry Colville. Ball being played between the two centre halves of Park Avenue just inside their own half as Lund plays it forward now into a Dunstan, but a Dunstan loses it. Good pressure from Little. He goes in to JJ Hooper, but JJ Hooper has lost the ball to some good work by Will Lancaster. And Harry Colville nearly split the lines of defence there with a ball looking for Zach Kersey. Just trying to split that gap between Bodenham and Cousin Dawson, but Cousin Dawson's wise to it. But Park Avenue will regain the ball now. Lancaster just slowly bringing the ball forwards, and he goes out to left back Lewis Hay. Harry Colville will receive the ball back inside, and Mitch Lund takes the ball forward. Now Dunstan goes across the halfway line once more, and he looks down the line for Zach Kersey. Will that ball run away? Zach Kersey goes to ground. I'm not sure he particularly needed to there, and the man does go down. Jack Bodenham in that corner, but the ball will just run out for a goal kick. 40 minutes gone here in the first half. One-two between the goalkeeper Clark and Mitchell. Mitchell receives it back and plays it out to Bodenham, who's allowed to just play it around. A little bit more pressure now from Park Avenue, playing a little bit higher. But the ball will be comfortable at Alex Mitchell's feet in the Blyth goal. Long bottom now, just charges forward at him, but plays a nice ball out onto the left-hand side as Mitchell. And perhaps a little bit fortunate there was Little, who managed to keep the ball. And the ball goes forward again, but it's wasteful from Park Avenue as Blyth look to switch the ball from left to right as McGowan comes out to Oliver here. One-on-one with Brad Doherty. Doherty does well there to get a foot in. As the ball goes forward into Will Longbottom, back to Brad Doherty, into Harry Colville, and then goes back to Lewis Hay. And the ball will find itself once more at the feet of Luca Havern. He picks his pass out to Lewis Hay as Blyth pushing forward. Manager Graham Fenton just screaming at his players to push on them and keep that pressure high. But Park Avenue do well to keep the ball, as Hay has the ball at his feet, just inside his own half. And Park Avenue just comfortable with the ball now at the back. Mitchell switching it out from the centre to the left. Hay goes into Colville, whose left-footed ball looks to go in behind slightly of Harrison Clark, who takes a touch with his head. Will Longbottom putting him under pressure. Clark goes back to the goalkeeper, Mitchell. Longbottom keeps going with the sustained pressure, but Mitchell comfortably clears the ball, which ends up all the way back again at George Sykes Kenworthy's feet. It comes out to Brad Doherty in front of Blyth manager Graham Fenton, and his touch just bounces up, hits his arm, and will run out for a throw-in. Just around 3 minutes of normal time left in this half. Mitchell will go out wide to Bodenham for Blyth, who definitely had more of the ball this half. But 1-1, here it is at the Horsefall Stadium. Mitchell goes out to Clark again, who goes forward looking for Cedric Main, who plays it back to Clark. Nice and easy. The ball goes forward to Main. And it'll run out after he just lost his foot in there. It'll run out after being cleared from a Park Avenue foot, and Oliver will just throw the ball in quite easily to Forbes, who's got a great ball. Just chipped it from about 5 yards out from the area. Just chipped the ball with his right foot over the line, diagonally over the back line of Park Avenue. And it was Liddell there at the back post, whose left-footed effort just flew over the bar. No concern there for George Sykes Kenworthy, but interesting that from this right-hand side, it was Elliot Forbes who put that ball in from an Oliver throw-in. And it came quite quickly, and perhaps Liddell should have done better with it. Sykes Kenworthy will eventually take the goal kick as he sets the ball up. He rolls up his socks, takes his time a little bit. The referee says, "Yep, come on then, mate." And he looks for Doherty. Oh, and it cannons between the two heads, but the referee deems it to be a Blyth Spartan ball. Oliver to take the throw in just inside his own half here. Hasn't got too many options at the moment. Just walks up into the Park Avenue half and looks long for JJ Hooper, who does well to hold the ball up. I must say the two centre forwards for Blyth, Hooper and Main, have done fantastically well to hold the ball up and play it back to a Blyth man in the yellow and red this evening. Forbes will be the man that picks up the ball in the middle now, and he goes back to Oliver, who finds Clark once more. He looks to switch the ball from the halfway line right to left, and it's a fantastic ball. Perhaps a bit of a loose touch out there from Liddell. Liddell goes back and it finds its way to Bodenham, who looks to play a ball into JJ Hooper's feet, but it's intercepted by Luca Havert, who only just got off the floor, and a free kick's been given. Just a little ball down that left-hand side from McGowan to Liddell. I think there was deemed to be a pull on Michael Liddell there, as we'll get a free kick. 45 minutes gone here, as we're about to see how much time's added. 1 minute to be added, so free kick just coming in from the left-hand side. McGowan's left foot putting it in, comfortably taken by George Sykes Kenworthy, who looks to get things started. Perhaps a little bit disappointed that there's no options available to him, as I reckon there's only 30 seconds left to go in the half. He throws it out to Lewis Hay, who controls the ball nicely with his left foot, looking forward. Plays a smart ball in field to Will Longbottom, who plays it back to Hay, who searches in behind the back line for Brad Doherty, but it can't quite make it. And there is the half-time whistle here. An interesting half, not too many chances for either side. I'd say that Blyth perhaps have had 3 opportunities to Bradford Park Avenue's won. It was Bradford Park Avenue who took the lead after 10 minutes. Brad Doherty with a fantastic goal cutting in from the left wing, hitting the ball with his laces into the top right-hand corner. That gave Park Avenue the lead, but that did not last long as Will McGowan took the ball well on a quick counter-attack just 2 minutes after the goal for Park Avenue, and the ball ended up in the goal from a right-footed effort into the near post. 1-1 here at the Horsefall Community Stadium. See you for the second half. And welcome back to Emirates FA Cup second qualifying round replay here at the Horsefall Community Stadium as both sides come back out onto the field. Thankfully the rain has stopped. The score is currently 1-1, goal scorers, 10th minute. A fantastic effort from Park Avenue's Brad Doherty found the top right corner, but the lead did not last very long as it became a 1-1 after only 2 minutes later. Will McGowan scored in the 12th minute with a weak foot finish into the bottom right corner. Both sides re-entering the field. Now George Sykes-Kenworthy, the Park Avenue goalkeeper, came out a little bit early just to get those hands warm for the second half. Obviously there must be a winner tonight with this being a replay. Brad Doherty, the goal scorer, the last one out on the field, and here come the referees, both with checkered flags. I mean, that's not allowed. They'll go on and do their standard mandatory check of the net before we get underway. Alex Mitchell just asking to feel the match ball before we get underway for the second half. Park Avenue this time shooting from left to right. Blyth obviously shooting from right to left. Park Avenue in their white top with green chevrons, and Blyth in their rather dashing red shorts, red socks, and yellow top with the Northumberland flag pattern at the top, the red and yellow. As it will be Blyth who gets underway this half, with captain JJ O'Donnell to roll the ball back to what looks like it will be Elliot Forbes. No changes at half-time for either side. Both goalkeepers are ready to go. And we're underway for the second half. 1-1 here at the Horsefall between Park Avenue and Blyth Spartans. The ball goes back to Boddenham, who looks forward towards JJ Hooper. And the ball's headed clear immediately by Mitch Lund. Brad Doherty fails to control the ball, and McGowan, the goal scorer, goes driving forward, bending a left ball with his left foot back towards JJ Hooper, who does well to nod the ball back across the 6-yard area. But it's clear there are a few Blyth Spartan bodies rushing towards that, looking to try and poke it home. But Blyth don't quite do that. Chinosidibe manages to turn in the midfield. He's basically at right back here as the centre forward, playing a little 1-2 with Lucas Dunstan. Comes off nicely and he plays the ball down the right hand side, and it just runs away from Zach Kersey there. Did well there, Chinosidibe, but just couldn't quite find Zach Kersey's feet there. It will go for a Blyth throw-in just in front of Mark Bauer, the Park Avenue boss. Just waiting for the ball to come back in field, and there it goes. Back to Boddenham's feet, of course, scoring the goal for Blyth in the fixture on Saturday between the two sides. The ball's quickly switched out onto the right-hand side where Joe Oliver turns back and goes to Harrison Clark. Harrison Clark looks forward into JJ Hooper, and he plays the ball on the half-turn really well out to Oliver, who puts a ball low and flat out into the middle towards the penalty spot, but the ball is cleared, and it goes back, finds its way all the way back to the Blyth defence. But Chinosidibe is deemed to have impeded cousin Dawson. Little plays the ball down the line on the left-hand side, looking for, I believe it was captain JJ, oh no, sorry, yes, JJ O'Donnell. But the ball ran away and will go for a goal kick with Sykes-Kenworthy to take for Park Avenue. He plays the ball long, looking towards the left-hand side, where Brad Doherty does well to win the first header. It quickly runs on to the header of Harrison Clark, who wins the ball and does well to head it down the line, where Joe Oliver wins the throw-in. Spartans Just waiting to pick the right throw. It goes back to Cousin Dawson. Not Cousin Dawson, sorry. Clark. Who goes back to goalkeeper Alex Mitchell. And that's the first sign of a little bit of uncertainty from Mitchell. He skies the ball and it only managed to go about 20 yards out. And Osadibi does well. So muscle Elliot Forbes off the ball. The ball goes out onto the left-hand side with Doherty driving. And it's put out for a throw-in for Joe Oliver. Mitchell's done pretty well with the ball at his feet tonight, but that's just the first sign of him struggling there as he skied one. The throw-in for Park Avenue came to nothing as the ball ended up at Harrison Clark's feet. He searches long for Cedric Main, but the ball's won by a Park Avenue header. The ball fell to a Dunstan, and on the half volley, he looped the ball forward, ending up with the goalkeeper of Blyth. But the ball trying to be played out by Boddenham is loose as it took a deflection on the way through, and it comes to Brad Doherty, who then plays a loose pass. But yeah, there was a pull on his shirt there from Elliot Forbes. Free kick around 45 yards out from goal. Will Longbottom stood over the ball. He's knocked it out to his left-hand side in Lewis Hay if he wants to take one short, but that won't be the option as Mitch Lund and Gianluca Havern go forward into the box. Longbottom just with a left foot curls one in towards that backstick area, and there was a pull on the shirt there on Luca Havern. I think they may have got away with one there, did Jack Boddenham. The ball was looped in towards the backstick just on the edge of the 6-yard area. Gianluca Havern was coming round onto the back of Will Longbottom's cross, and Jack Boddenham was definitely had a hand on his shirt. Perhaps Gianluca Havern had the same, but he was brought down there. Referee didn't see enough for it to be a penalty though, as the ball went out for a goal kick. Long ball comes over from Boddenham now, and O'Donnell goes one-on-one with Harry Colville, and the ball comes out off Harry Colville's head and out for a Spartans throw-in just past the halfway line as Little goes in to Captain O'Donnell, and he takes a rough first touch that Zach Kersey can't quite control as Little steps in and regains the ball for Blyth, who end up playing the ball back to goalkeeper Alex Mitchell. Mitchell then goes long, looking for Hooper, who does well to control the ball and plays it out onto the right-hand side, which will be Joe Oliver. He goes back to Harrison Clark, who goes then forward into Cedric Main's feet, and he fantastic again with his back to goal, turns it around the corner, but they can't quite keep the ball, but it will come back to Cedric Main, who does fantastically well. He's not the tallest lad, but he's definitely strong. And a little play between, it was Forbes and goal scorer McGowan. McGowan goes driving at that box once more, but it's intercepted by Mitch London. Will go out for a throw-in to Blyth Spartans about 15-20 yards into the Park Avenue half. The ball's thrown down out of the stand here at the Horsefall, but doesn't quite make it onto the playing area. And now it reaches him, second time of asking. He looks forward, looks back, goes to McGowan. He plays it back to Joe Oliver. Challenge made by Will Longbottom. I'm not quite happy with the assistant referee there who gave it to Blyth, the throw in there. He comes in and Lancaster does well to regain the ball, but that is wasteful with possession as he looks to go for Chinosadibi up top, but the ball's nowhere near him, and Alex Mitchell will control it, pick the ball up just inside his area. He has time with the ball in his hands, not too much time though. Referee, and the ball leaves his hands. Lovely slicing kick forward, looking for JJ Hooper, but Gianluca Havern meets it first. In goes Lancaster on the seconds, and he will win a throw-in for his side, Park Avenue, just on the halfway line over on the far side. 7 minutes gone in this second half. We're in the 52nd minute at the Horsefall. 1-1 here between Park Avenue and Blyth Spartans. Instructions being bellowed on by Graham Fenton, the Blyth manager, who didn't seem too pleased that someone was over on that far side of the pitch. The third successive throw-in in around 20 seconds for Park Avenue. Just can't quite make it out of that area of the field right now. Hay potentially going backwards, turns back, looking forwards now. Long throw in down the line, looking for Osadivi, but he can't win the header. They'll end up back at Hay's feet, who goes forward into Doherty. Takes a high looping first touch and is muscled off the ball by Elliot Forbes. And the ball will end up back in the feet of the centre halves of Blyth. As Boddenham goes back to his keeper, Mitchell, who plays a left-footed ball and had to say, scuffed it. It's won by a Dunstan. He goes into Kersey. Kersey plays it out to Will Longbottom on the right wing. Again, just a second moment there of poor distribution from the Blyth goalkeeper, Alex Mitchell. Skied one first and then just played a weak foot ball. Didn't really leave the floor and found its way to Park Avenue. They were perhaps disappointed they couldn't do more with it. Park Avenue now have the ball with the Dunstan playing it. Back to goalkeeper George Sykes-Kenworthy. He goes long over the head of Brad Doherty and it will run out for a Spartans throw in halfway into their own half. Joe Oliver will just loop the throw in back towards keeper Alex Mitchell, who's not got any pressure on him at the moment. He goes out to Boddenham, who's parallel with him. And Boddenham now plays a slightly poor ball out from the back. It goes to Harry Colville and his pass goes astray looking for Zach Kersey, but the seconds come back out to a Dunstan and his ball is blocked by Liddell, I believe, and goes out for a throw-in. Will Longbottom will take the throw-in, bit loopy, into Lancaster, who's in the middle of the park. It'll come back to Longbottom. His attempted ball comes off JJ Hooper and out for another throw for Park Avenue with a Dunstan to take just in front of his manager. He goes in and finds the chest of Osadivi, who looks to then play it out onto the right wing to Zach Kersey, but his pass is intercepted and will find its way back at the feet of Alex Mitchell. Mitchell finds Clark, who then goes into Forbes, who then goes back towards the on-loan Bradford City man, Finn Cousin-Dawson. He drives forward and then turns and plays the ball back towards Boddenham, and Boddenham goes forward into Cedric Main. Main did well on that left-hand side to turn back and put a ball in, but the ball is cleared. And Elliot Forbes will pick up the ball around 40 yards, 35 yards perhaps from goal and control it. Time on the ball. It goes back to Boddenham, who goes out to goal scorer McGowan, who looks to put it on inside on his left foot once more. And he puts a ball over toward the back stick, which will be headed by Jonathan O'Donnell, JJ O'Donnell, the captain of Blyth. But he just loops it up nicely for George Sykes-Kenworthy to come and collect. So 11 minutes gone now in this second half. Here we are in the 56th minute. 1-1. Sykes-Kenworthy goes long, and that ball might come down with snow on it. It's gone that high. It comes down, goes forward. Brad Doherty does well to muscle him, but he goes down to ground as well. Him and Joe Oliver battling for the ball there, and neither of them ended up getting it as the ball ran away from them. And the ball will just end up rolling through to Alex Mitchell in his purple strip tonight in goal for Blyth. He looks for Boddenham, who goes forward looking for Hooper. Hooper can't quite control it, but the ball will still fall to the Blyth captain O'Donnell. Liddell goes forward looking for Hooper, and Hooper puts Sykes-Kenworthy under pressure. He'd come a long way, but he did well to collect as the ball came in just inside his area. And now quick play from Park Avenue down the right-hand side. A Dunstan does well. Plays it down to Zach Kersey. A Dunstan is looking on the overlap, but Kersey doesn't give it to him. Plays a nice inside ball to Will Longbottom, who gets an effort on goal just on the edge of the area. And Alex Mitchell had to get down to his right-hand side there just to save. Perhaps not quite a sweet connection from Longbottom, who's we know is quite good in front of goal, just on the edge of the area there. And his left-footed area doesn't quite do too much to scare Blyth. 1-1 it remains. And the ball will come out to Boddenham, who goes back to his number one in goal. Who plays the ball out onto the right-hand side. It's a good ball, even though he slipped and fell over. But it'll come to nothing. And Sykes-Kenworthy just plays a first-time ball to Gianluca Havern. He goes out to Mitch Lund, controls and turns back towards Sykes-Kenworthy. Back to Havern, back to Sykes-Kenworthy. And then he goes forward onto that left wing. Looking for Hay, who controls it well and turns back down towards his own defence. Goes to goes to Haven. It finds its way back at Park Avenue's captain's feet, George Sykes Kenworthy. His long searching ball forward is headed away quite comfortably by Harrison Clark, but couldn't quite keep control of the ball. And the ball was sent forward by Havern, and Chinos Adibi with an outside of the boot. First time touch. Did well to find the midfield counterpart, but the ball just ran away from Park Avenue there. Blyth now driving forward on the right wing. Go back into Elliot Forbes in the midfield. Go back on to the right wing and Joe Oliver, who has his back towards goal. And he goes back to centre-half Harrison Clark, who then just knocks it to his other centre-half, who then passes it on to his other centre-half. Bodenham now with the ball on the left-hand side. He'll go back inside to Cousin Dawson, who just drops his shoulder and doesn't allow Osadibi to put him under too much pressure and strolls over the halfway line. Finds McGowan and keep the ball quite comfortably here to Blyth. McGowan once more on his left foot, testing ball over the top, looking for captain JJ O'Donnell, but Sykes Kenworthy's quick off his line and comes and collects. And JJ O'Donnell's just lurking behind him, quite sneaky, but Sykes Kenworthy, I believe, knew he was there and does a long throw onto the left wing that's excellently controlled by Lewis Hay, I believe. He goes driving down the wing, but the ball just unfortunately runs away from him and into Blyth control. But as their clearance goes away, it finds itself at Will Lancaster's feet for Park Avenue. He goes back to Luca Havern, and Longbottom drops a bit deeper with back to goal. Plays a ball across, and Harry Colville leaves it, and it rolls through to Lucas Dunstan at right back. Zach Kersey on the right wing, and just a bit of a mix-up there with Harry Colville meant that the ball ran through to Blyth Spartans. But Bodenham plays the ball forward with his left foot, just chipped it forward, and it didn't quite make it to one of their players in the yellow and red strip this evening. But they will regain control as a nice ball is played by Clark into JJ O'Donnell, who goes out onto this wing now. Liddle turns back inside on the right wing, puts a ball across with his right foot, looping ball towards the back stick. It's headed away quite comfortably by Lewis Hay under no pressure there, but it'll be regained by Clark, who plays a one ball in to McGowan, and McGowan's first time ball went into Hooper, but there was a foul there for a push, I believe, just outside the Park Avenue box, with Sykes Kenworthy to take. 61st minute now, 1-1 here between Park Avenue and Blyth Spartans. It's wasteful again from Lancaster, whose ball just rolls straight through to captain O'Donnell. He's composed enough to just turn back and play it to Bodenham, who now goes across to Harrison Clark, who drives forward a little bit. McGowan again turns the ball inside. Great 1-2, first time play from McGowan and Main. McGowan goes through. Oh, wow. McGowan with a right foot effort again. Would have been a tight angle, would have been a fantastic finish. Just flashed it wide of the far post. JJ Hooper lurking in the box, just hunting for seconds perhaps. But it will roll out for a goal kick with Sykes Kenworthy to take. Good play there from Blyth Spartans. Just a 1-2 quite quickly. First one-touch football between Hooper and goal scorer Will McGowan. And his effort just flashed wide of Sykes Kenworthy's far post. Sykes Kenworthy takes the goal kick short and goes to Lancaster, who shifts the ball out onto the right-hand side of Lucas Dunstan's feet. He looks forward, going long, looking to challenge Bodenham with Will Longbottom running on, but Bodenham wins it quite comfortably. And the ball bounces now in the midfield. Lancaster does well to control it on his chest. And that's a great ball and turn to Zach Kersey, who just put the ball in. He hangs the ball into the area, looking for Chin Osadibi, but Osadibi was just behind the man there. Blyth have the ball in their bottom left-hand corner, but quite a lot of pressure on them there. Park Avenue regain the ball, but Harry Colville just takes a bit of a loose touch on the bounce, and it'll go out for a Blyth Spartans corner, 10 yards from their own corner flag. Again, Will McGowan with that effort 2 minutes ago, perhaps the only solid chance of the second half, as Michael Liddell will put the ball back into play with a throw in just a moment. He goes long, looking for Hooper. Hooper wins the flick on, going to main. Back to Hooper. And he believes it's his throw in. And, well, assistant manager Danny Boschel's not happy with that one. Oh. And Liddell was about to take the throw in and it sort of slipped out and just rolled off his head. A foul throw there, but the referee isn't convinced. And Liddell still has the ball in his hands. Still has the ball in his hands. And has to throw it long inside to Cousin Dawson. He shifts it out onto the right-hand side. And good pressure from Brad Doherty there on Joe Oliver. Oliver plays it inside to Cousin Dawson. He has to go back to his goalkeeper. And with a bit of pressure on him, he does well to find the ball onto the right wing of Joe Oliver's feet. Little nudge in the back from Doherty. Referee plays advantage, and Oliver keeps the ball now. Halfway into the Park Avenue half on that right wing. He goes back inside to Elliot Forbes. Elliot Forbes' chip is cleared by Mitch Lund's header. He'll just run out for a yellow and red Blyth throw in 10 yards into the Park Avenue half. Throw in to be taken by Joe Oliver out on that right wing. Going forward to McGowan, back to Oliver, who now runs back into his own half and finds Harrison Clark, who goes forward to McGowan. But McGowan has a little battle with Will Lancaster, and Will Lancaster comes out on top, winning the throw-in. Thrown in a similar area to that last one, just 10 yards inside Park Avenue half, with left back Lewis Hay to take. He goes long, and it's comfortably cleared by Cousin Dawson and picked up in the middle of the park by Cedric Main. He goes wide to O'Donnell, and O'Donnell to Liddell, and Liddell does well to beat Zach Kersey. Oi! And Will Lancaster came change to him, took a little bit of a loose touch and put in a bit of a dangerous challenge, but a fair challenge on, I think it was the captain, JJ O'Donnell, and the ball will just be cleared and run away now for a Blyth throw-in their own half. Liddell to take. He goes forward and then nodded on by Forbes. He goes to Cedric Main, who again, really good at hold-up play. Plays it out to Hooper, but the ball go back then to O'Donnell, and Longbottom and O'Donnell have a 50-50 challenge that the ball ends up just going back to a Blyth man, but the ball goes forward then, and Jean-Luc Haverne rises highest to win the header. Into Will Lancaster now. Will Lancaster plays it inside once more to Will Longbottom, about 30 yards out. It goes to Harry Colville, who looks to have an effort on goal, and body on the line there from Michael Liddell does well to block the shot from about 25 yards out from the goal scorer on Saturday, Harry Colville. Lucas Dunstan to take the throw in here, just around 15-20 yards into the Blyth half on the right wing, just taking his time with the ball. Ball goes in now, looking for Chinos Adibi, but he's got two men on him, and it's won by Liddell, but the ball goes forward then, and Lancaster's composed enough to nod the ball down to a Dunstan, who goes forward looking for Osadibe again, and Boddenham does well just to lean on Osadibe, meaning that the ball rolls through to Blyth number 1, Alex Mitchell. He goes short, like he has done for a large majority of the game, to Boddenham, who then goes back to the goalkeeper, who again has so much time on the ball with no real pressure on him at the moment. And he goes back to Boddenham. Boddenham then looks up, sees where he can play the ball, and goes, in fact, into the midfield, where Elliot Forbes shifts it out to the right-hand side of Harrison Clark. Harrison Clark then with a long ball forward, searching. It's a dangerous ball as well. And Mitch Lund was left with no option but to just tap it away to, I believe it was Harry Colville there who was recovering. Just a dangerous ball. Wouldn't quite go into the area, and the onrushing Cedric Main could have perhaps latched onto the end of it. But Lund did well to read the situation and tap it away. Blyth will still have the ball now in the half of Park Avenue. JJ Hooper with his back to goal around 30 yards out. Goes into goal scorer McGowan, who then goes back to Harrison Clark. He goes out to the wing where Oliver will receive. But his ball inside is cut short by Brad Doherty. He was searching for Will McGowan there, Oliver, but he does well to regain the ball. And now he finds McGowan, who goes forward to Cedric Main. And a little bit of a battle between him and Luca Havern means that Havern clears the ball into the stands. Throw in to Blyth Spartans. Looks like we'll be having a sub here in a moment from Blyth Spartans, as Harry Arneson will join us in a moment. But Blyth now still have the ball in the half. O'Donnell plays the ball back to Bodenham. And Bodenham goes forward looking for McGowan. He's out-jumped by Will Lancaster. But Blyth still keep the ball just between the centre halves, and Zach Kersey pressing high on a loose touch from Bodenham there, and his pass then finds Will Longbottom, but Will Longbottom takes a loose touch himself, and JJ Hooper does well to put him under pressure and regain the ball for Blyth Spartans, who are driving forward now with a bit of pace. McGowan out to Joe Oliver. Oliver looking to put a ball in, and Lewis Hay does well to battle hard, and the substitution will be made now. It will be number 23, Harry Arneson, replacing number 10 and captain today, JJ O'Donnell. Captain's armband now goes over to Michael Liddell. 70 minutes gone here, still 1-1 as we see the first substitution of the game, Harry Arneson replacing JJ O'Donnell. Ball will come in with a Blyth throw-in on the far side. Harry Arneson played a bit of football over in a young midfielder, 21 years of age, dual citizenship, also Australian. Spent time with Brisbane and Sunshine Coast Wanderers. Enters the field for Blyth Spartans now, as Lucas Dunstan will take the throw-in deep inside his own half. He goes long looking for Kersey, but it will be won by Spartans, and it'll end up at Dunstan's, whose left-footed clearance goes forward, and Mitchell, the goalkeeper for Spartans, comes a long way. Clears the ball into the night sky, and Harry Colville challenges for the first ball, but it's not won by anybody. But then Kersey and Main go for the second, and it's still bouncing around, and the referee sees a foul there. So there'll be a free kick to be taken by Mitch Lund, just 2 or 3 yards into the Blyth half. Look to take one quickly, but Blyth were smart to it, and it'll be Will Longbottom that will put a ball forward. Mitch Lund and Luca Havern both joining the box up there. Luca with his hand raised at the back stick. Chinos Adibi also in there. Ball goes into the area. First header won by Park Avenue. It was Luca Havern. Osadibe on rushing towards the back stick, but the ball will just run out for a goal kick past the far post of Mitchell. As we will see a change for Park Avenue this evening for the first time, and it will be number 10, Chinedu Osadibe, leaving the field in the 73rd minute. Chin will be replaced by number 16, Jordan Preston. Jordan signed from Spennymoor Town last season. Comes onto the field trying to make an impact in this FA Cup qualifying replay. He goes on up top to join Will Longbottom up there. As the goal kick is taken by Alex Mitchell, going forward, looking for JJ Hooper, whose first touch finds Harry Colville, and nice play from Mitch Lund into long bottom and back to Colville. And here's the first touch for Preston, who goes back to Colville and then finds long bottom, and the ball just runs back into the half off Park Avenue, with the ball now at Sykes Kenworthy, the goalkeeper's feet. He switches it out onto the left-hand side, where Havern turns back and goes to his other central defender, Mitch Lund. He goes back across to Havern, and Havern looks forward, looking for Doherty up there, and Doherty puts his man under pressure and does well there. And Blyth do well just to sneak the ball out for the box. Bit of a challenge, slightly dangerous from Elliot Ford. I think he won the ball, but it dived in nonetheless. But he seems to have hurt himself, a little bit of a limp. But Dunstan, fantastic turn from Dunstan, beats two men there, beats number 3, and he's fouled there off the ball. He's fouled there off the ball, and that will be a card, first card of the evening. Lucas Dunstan did really, really well there to take, I believe it was Liddell and goal scorer Will McGowan out of the game, and Will McGowan just dragged him down off the ball. Yellow card. 74 minutes in, 1-1 here at the Horsefall Stadium between Park Avenue and Blyth Spartans. But a free kick in a dangerous area here for Park Avenue. 25 yards out, just right of the right central of the box. Will Longbottom and Harry Colville to take. You'd imagine it probably will be Will Longbottom after seeing him score a free kick from a similar area, but on the opposite side of the box in pre-season. Dunstan just given an option on the overlap, but you'd think Longbottom will try and put a goal. Well, you'd think he'd try and do that, but he'll try and put an effort on goal, as there's a 3-man wall for Spartans. Referee blows his whistle. Longbottom steps up, curling, and it is wasted. Tried to wrong foot the goalkeeper going to the other side, not over the wall, but to the far post, and he just got underneath the ball and straight out of play. He'll be disappointed with that, just like his teammates and Mark Bauer, the manager. Goal kick to Blyth Spartans. 14 minutes of regular time to go. And Mitchell played a fantastic ball forward there to a Park Avenue man, but wasteful with the possession. Cedric Main goes driving forward. He slides in the winger, Oliver, and Oliver's ball once more just low and hard across the box was cleared just about by Park Avenue, who finds Longbottom, who then goes to Kersey, and Kersey dallies on the ball a little bit, but he is impeded there by Will McGowan, and the free kick's taken quickly, but the referee says that ball hadn't stopped moving. Doherty will have to chuck it back, as Mark Bauer's just having a chat with Will Callaghan here. Perhaps another substitution coming for the home side. Harry Colville has the ball just inside his own half, and he goes out onto the right-hand side of Dunstan, who goes back to Mitch Lund, who then finds Hay at left back. A 1-2 is played between Havern and Sykes Kenworthy, and Havern goes forward, coming back into Doherty, who does well to run inside his own half and turns his man excellently. But the ball ran out. He did really, really well there. Did all the hard work, you'd have to say. Turned Harrison Clark, left him inside out, ran into the Blyth half, but the ball ran away from him and out for a throw-in as Blyth gets us started. And great challenge there from the man, Brad Doherty. Goes forward to Jordan Preston. Preston plays a little 1-2 with Will Longbottom, and Longbottom goes back to Hay, and the ball's back in the Park Avenue half with Havern, who shifts it out to right back of Dunstan. He finds Kersey, and Kersey still on the ball, does a little 360, another one, and it'll just go back to a Dunstan again, who plays a little bit of a wayward ball towards the back, but Sykes Kenworthy will comfortably play that out to Havern. He goes forward, playing that ball again, and that's a great little touch from Brad Doherty, but strong defending and good knowledge from Joe Oliver was wise to it, not letting Lewis Hay get in behind the back line of Blyth there. Ball went forward towards JJ Hooper and looked like he just took a knock in the back, and he's just walking a little bit gingerly, but I think he'll be all right as Harry Colville has the ball just inside the Blyth half. He goes forward looking for a Dunstan, but it's cut out by Bodenham. Forbes takes the ball inside. Here's Hooper. Luke Havern gets there first, then a little toe stuck in by Doherty. Lancaster driving forward, and his ball will come to nothing and end up at Bodenham's feet, who then goes across to Cousin Dawson and to the other centre half, Harrison Clark. Clark goes forward, and Havern does really well there to control the ball and drive into the half of Blyth. He finds Longbottom, and Longbottom's ball is intercepted but goes back to Gianluca Havern's feet. And he played the ball nicely back to Mitch Lund. 1-1 here, still at the Horsefall between Park Avenue and Blyth Spartans. Just over 10 minutes to go here in regular time. Obviously, there has to be a winner here tonight, with it being a qualifying second round replay in the Emirates FA Cup. The ball went back to Sykes Kenwith, who shanked his left-footed clearance, but Lewis Hay did well to keep the ball in play. Goes forward and does excellently well, actually, with his right foot to find Doherty, and Doherty does well. Slightly scuffed the ball and got a little bit lucky, but Zach Kersey's got a lot of room out on his right-hand side. Can he put a ball in the box? Dunstan goes rushing random on the overlap. Kersey still looking for options, puts the ball over to the back stick. Preston's there! Preston's there! Oh, what a save from Mitchell. What a save. Great ball from Zach Kersey. Had a lot of time on it. Eventually decided to put a right-footed ball towards the back stick, and Jordan Preston's header definitely tested the goalkeeper, who put a one-handed save to his left-hand side and touched it away as a man goes down for Blyth Spartans. I think it's Joe Oliver over on that right side. Fantastic play from Park Avenue there. Game just becoming a little bit more even now. A few tired bodies. Obviously, these teams both played on Saturday against each other, and with it being only Monday now, not too much time to rest and recover. Both teams just taking this opportunity to get a little bit of fluid on board, as almost every Park Avenue player will come over to the bench and just have a little chat with the staff. Really good opportunity there for substitute Jordan Preston, who came on in the 73rd minute. Ball hung over to that back stick, and he did really well to get his head to it because he was challenged at the back by Harrison Clark, and he nearly made it 2-1 to Park Avenue. Great save, one-handed by goalkeeper Alex Mitchell, who's had a good day with a lot of ball at his feet. And the man still down for Blyth over on the far side. I believe it's Joe Oliver, if I am correct. Yes, it is. And he's just wandering back over towards his manager. It looks like we'll be seeing a replacement for the injured man potentially, as he takes a slow walk all the way over to this side. And we will see a sub. Slight change in formation perhaps for Blyth as instructions are sent on. And on comes number 12, Charlie Aitken, replacing the injured Joe Oliver in the 82nd minute. Aitken just slots in on that right-hand side, replacing Joe Oliver, who had a good day out there, and goal kick taken for Blyth now. Goes out to Clark, who goes into Forbes now, looking forward. Finds Hooper. And Hooper's put under pressure by Havern, and Havern's still putting pressure on. He's now the second highest player for Park Avenue, and he's still putting pressure on, and means that JJ Hooper's ball forward is loose, but Dunston's put under pressure by Cedric Main, but perhaps a little push in the back there. The ref didn't think it was a foul, and that's a great save by George Sykes-Kenworthy. Little push in the back on Lucas Dunston from Cedric Main, but the ref didn't think it was a foul. The ball came over into the area. JJ Hooper did well to control it, and Luca Havern was beaten. Out came George Sykes-Kenworthy, who managed to just tip the effort from JJ Hooper over the bar to keep the scores level. Two big chances for either side in the past 5 minutes. Good save from the Park Avenue captain here, as Blyth will look to swing an in-swinging corner into the box. Both goalkeepers now earning their keep. The ball comes in and doesn't beat the first man. It's cleared and out for a throw-in halfway into the Park Avenue half. And Clark will take that throw. Takes it quickly down the line, looking for substitute Charlie Aitken, who loses out to Park Avenue there, who launches the ball forward, and Preston will put Cousin Dawson under pressure, and he'll just comfortably roll the ball back to his goalkeeper, Alex Mitchell. Mitchell plays a nice ball out onto this left-hand side to Liddell, who's put under pressure by a long bottom, meaning his pass is rushed. And it's a fantastic touch from Zach Kersey, who takes it on the half-turn, and he turns his man again. Liddell perhaps showing some tired legs there. Kersey goes back to long bottom. He goes inside to Colville, and Kersey again gets an opportunity to put a ball into the back post, and it'll just go out to nothing. It'll go for a goal kick there. Some good play on this right-hand side for Park Avenue in the last 10 minutes or so. Zach Kersey really coming into the game. Liddell's perhaps showing some tired legs, even though he's had a good day at the Horsefall. You can hear Graham Fenton through the glass in front of me bellowing some instructions on at the Spartans, as Elliot Forbes will drive with the ball forward in his own half. He goes to McGowan, and McGowan just plays it across to left centre half. Jack Boddenham, he'll be allowed to just walk with the ball into the Park Avenue half, and he plays a ball inside to goal scorer McGowan, who goes back to Forbes and out wide, where there's a bit of space for Cedric Main, who cuts inside onto his right foot well, puts the ball into the area. It's all the way through. Whoa! And out for a corner ball. Sort of split 4 men in half. That's 4 Blyth men in half. None of them could quite get onto that ball, but good defending there at the back post. I think it was by Lewis Hay on that far side. Just managed to tip the ball out for another Blyth corner. Hopefully they'll be able to beat the first man this time, you'd think. The ball comes in, and this time it goes really deep towards the back post, and the Dunstan's there first, and Lund wins the second. And the Dunstan goes out and keeps the ball in play and does really well there. Holds off Liddell, turns back out, and wins a goal kick. Fantastic work from Lucas Dunstan there. With 4 minutes to play here in regular time, 1-1 at the Horsefall. Both teams showing tired legs, with this being the second game in 3 days between the two sides. The rain has now stopped, and at the moment we're looking towards extra time, I believe. As Sykes-Kenworthy will take the goal kick. 3 minutes left of regular time. Anything, of course, can happen with the magic of the FA Cup, I suppose, as he'll go forward and Forbes controls the ball well and goes back to Boddenham, who finds his keeper Mitchell and clears his lines strong and long, and into Mitchell, who nods the ball, but it's picked up once more by Blyth. And substitute Harry Arneson has time to just pick his pass and go out wide right, looking for other substitute Charlie Aitken, who turns the ball inside, and it comes off Lewis Hay and out for a Blyth throw-in, who goes back to Harry Arneson. He goes back to central defender Finn Cousin Dawson, who goes forward to Arneson once more, but the ball's lost. A bit of 50-50s in between them means that the ball goes forward from Park Avenue, and Preston will chase. He'll keep chasing as the ball is played quite easily from Mitchell to Cousin Dawson, who just strides quite comfortably with the ball, looking to play the ball from right to left, searching long, high and long. And a little bit of mix-up in communications between Dunstan and Sykes-Kenworthy, but no pressure on them to force an error, and Sykes-Kenworthy just collects the ball in his hands. And a little bit of a breather for both sides. He bounces the ball once, twice, and puts it high up in the sky, looking for Doherty, who's having a battle over on that side with Clark, and the ball will come off the back of Harrison Clark and go out for a Park Avenue throw-in just halfway in to the half of Blyth. Lewis Hay looking to take it quickly, but there's no options available. He goes long, looking forward for Preston, but it's headed away by Clark, and then once more by Forbes. Colville picks the ball up in midfield, but there's a strong challenge by Arneson. Well played by Mitch Lund as the ball went back to the Park Avenue centre-half as he just sidestepped out of the way of Cedric Main, and now the ball's on the right wing with Zach Kersey, who goes back towards Will Longbottom, and he can find Will Lancaster, who's got a bit of room, and shifts the ball out onto the left-hand side where Lewis Hay does well and takes a touch inside and takes his man. So that was a bit of a strange noise. Takes his man out of the game, puts the ball into the box, and just a bit of a miscommunicated clearance perhaps, but it still found its way into the goalkeeper's arms. Will Longbottom just going down on his haunches there. Tired bodies coming into play now. 30 seconds left of normal time. Blyth going forward. Doherty taken out of the game. It comes to Arneson driving. He finds number 24, Will McGowan, the goal scorer. But the ball's cleared, and Will Longwood, unlucky Will. That's really unlucky. He does well to charge out and try and keep the ball in play, and he touches it, but it just rolls out after, and the throw-in's taken quickly by Forbes, who goes forward to Little. He rolls the ball back to Main out on the left wing, and Main switches the ball into the centre of the field to number 23, Harry Arneson, as we will see 3 minutes added now into injury time. Bodenham goes driving forward. He finds Little. Little's got a poor touch, and it goes to Sykes-Kenworthy. Bodenham's forward, if they can perhaps try and take advantage of the numbers. Kersey will win the first header, but midfielder Forbes will win the second. This time Harry Colville plays the ball down the wing, and Kersey, can he get there? He does really well to keep the ball in, but can't quite keep control of the ball, and Forbes will just clean up and go back to his goalkeeper, Mitchell, who takes a touch and controls and looks long towards Cedric Main, who mistimes his jump and controlled well by Lucas Dunstan. Goes back to Sykes-Kenworthy, who goes long once more. Headed quite easily by Bodenham away, under no pressure there. Dunstan couldn't quite control the ball, and now Hooper goes driving forward. He finds goal scorer Will McGowan, who's got a bit of space. He goes out onto the wing, finding Charlie Aitken, who's driving at the defence. His ball across is blocked by Gianluca Havern, I believe, and Brad Doherty's back to cover up the seconds, and he goes back to Hay, and it goes forward now, but cleared by the header of Finn Cousin-Dawson and out of play by Blyth for a Park Avenue throw-in. Looking like we may be going into extra time here. Just a minute and a half left to play. Both teams absolutely shattered. Ball goes forward from Hay. No Park Avenue player challenges, but there's a bit of a miscommunication between, I believe it was Harrison Clark and Charlie Aitken, and the ball runs out off the back of Charlie Aitken for a Park Avenue throw. It goes short and quick into Lancaster. Lancaster's return ball just a little bit out of control, and a bobbling ball sent back to Sykes-Kenworthy, who does well with his left foot to smack the ball forwards. But it's dealt with by the Blyth defence, and they send the ball back towards the defence of Park Avenue. And now Park Avenue going forward. Zach Kersey has a bit of room out on this right side. One-on-one with Liddell. Does well to beat him. Goes inside. Outside of the football. It was a nice idea, hanging it into the right area, but Preston was a little bit deeper than that, and the ball just went through to Alex Mitchell, who played it quickly out to substitute Charlie Aitken. He goes inside to Harry Arneson, who plays the ball out onto the left side, and Liddell does well to keep it in play, nodding it back to centre-half, Jack Bodenham. Bodenham goes forward into hold-up play that we've seen all night from Cedric Main. He goes out to Liddell. Liddell and Dunstan having a little bit of a battle, Dunstan does well to win the ball. Mitch Lund just chips it out to the right winger, Kersey. And that is full time here at the Horsefall. Emirates FA Cup second qualifying round replay. It is 1-1 and we are headed to extra time. Goal in the 10th minute from Brad Doherty. It was a great effort. He cut in from the left-hand side. He hit the ball with his right foot, with his laces. It went straight in. There was no curve on the ball whatsoever. And it beat Alex Mitchell into the top right-hand corner. But that lead didn't last very long as it was 1-1 after only 2 minutes later. In the 12th minute, Will McGowan danced inside the box, did well, and poked the ball home into the near post to make it 1-1. That was it for the first half. And in the second half, 2 real chances for either side. The ball was put into the back post by, I believe it was, yes it was, Zach Kersey. He put the ball on the right wing over towards the back post where Jordan Preston headed the ball. And it was a great save made by the goalkeeper, Alex Mitchell, with his left hand diving. But then, again, only 2 minutes later, a chance for JJ Hooper. He came almost one-on-one with Sykes Kenworthy and did well to control the bouncing ball and put the effort on target. But a great save from George Sykes Kenworthy, tipped it over the bar. I'm just going to have a short break and I'll be back with you for extra time. Back live here at the Horsefall Community Stadium. 1-1 between Park Avenue and Blyth Spartans in FA Cup second qualifying round replay. Like I said, we're heading into extra time as we will see a Park Avenue substitution here. It will be Will Callaghan replacing Will Longbottom. Longbottom entering the field now. Not too much of chances in the half. Mainly came in the first 15 minutes with both goals coming in the 10th and 12th. But with these teams only playing 2 days ago, there are some tired bodies out there. And Half an hour is a while, but that might mean that the game becomes stretched and we may see a fair few chances as Jordan Preston will kick the ball off in extra time with, again now, same as the first half, Park Avenue shooting from right to left in their white and green. Blyth, of course, left to right in their red and yellow. And we're underway here in extra time. Ball goes forward and is comfortably headed away from Bottomham. Colville does well to win the seconds, but it lands at the feet of the defence of Blyth. And Dunstan regains the ball and is fouled by Main. Only one yellow card shown in the game, and that was to goal scorer for Blyth, Will McGowan. As Sykes Kenworthy has the ball with his feet. It's now to Lewis Hay on the left-hand side, and his ball forward is a bit wayward and goes to Harrison Clark. His ball then is loose to Lancaster, but then his ball finds its way back to Harrison Clark. And Harry Aitken does well, a bit of fresh legs on this right wing to find his goalkeeper with a poor ball, actually, back to Alex Mitchell, but Mitchell does well to go out, control it, and play the ball forward as Havern heads it back. Goal scorer Will McGowan does well there to keep the ball with Harry Colville on his back the whole time. And the ball goes forward looking for Cedric Main, but Sykes Kenworthy does well to meet it and roll the ball quickly out to Dunstan. But Cedric Main really tearing down on Dunstan, and Dunstan's wise to it, turns back and plays the ball to his defence. Hay has it on this left-hand side for Park Avenue and goes forward to the substitute Will Callaghan, but couldn't quite make it to Callaghan, and the ball comes off Harrison Clark for a Park Avenue throw-in. Hay into Lancaster and back to Hay. And he chips the ball back over to centre-half Luca Havern, who finds goalkeeper George Sykes Kenworthy. Park Avenue just comfortably keeping the ball now between centre halves, and Lewis Hay looks for a ball forward for Preston, but Preston can't. He's not happy with that one. Should have gone down the line, he believes, from Hay, and it'll run through to goalkeeper Alex Mitchell. As the ball goes forward for Blyth, and JJ Hooper will try and touch it round the corner, but him and Cedric Main aren't quite on the same wavelength, and it'll just run all the way through to Sykes Kenworthy, who goes out and collects and plays the ball to midfielder Will Lancaster. Again, he has time on the ball. Not a right lot in terms of pressure at the moment for either side. As the ball goes back to Sykes Kenworthy, who rolls it once more to Will Lancaster, who goes to centre-back Luke Havern, who looked like he was going to knock a ball forward there, but opts to just roll it back inside. This time Lancaster will play a ball forward, and it's a good ball looking for Jordan Preston down the left wing, and Preston does well with a little touch back on to, I believe it's substitute Charlie Aitken to win a throw-in, and he takes the throw-in himself and goes quickly back to Harry Colville, who then finds Luke Havern, who goes back again to Harry Colville. Good little play from Park Avenue there. Little Lancaster on the ball, goes out to Jordan Preston. But Park Avenue are forced to go all the way back to their goalkeeper, Sykes Kenworthy, who then goes forward. And it's comfortably headed away by Cousin Dawson. But Park Avenue regain the ball, and this time Brad Doherty now out on the right wing, gets the ball and tries to beat his man Liddle, wearing the armband now for Blyth. Clears his lines, and the header is won by Lancaster, and it bobbles around, and Havern has to meet it before McGowan gets there. But bouncing ball still in the middle of the park, and Havern just sticks his toe up in the air and wins it. And good hold-up play by Jordan Preston, does really well, takes two men out of the game and shifts it out onto the right-hand side to Brad Doherty, who perhaps can take on his man. But Liddle does well, and the ball goes out for a throw-in. Lots of lads just on their haunches. In the 95th minute now, 25 minutes left of extra time. Will there be a winner for either side? Ball comes into play from Lucas Dunstan, who tries to drive down the wing, and Preston can't quite get control of the ball, but it'll go out for a Park Avenue throw in once more. And a Dunstan will take it and go in field. Good touch from Preston, just looking for the run of, I believe it was Zach Kersey, but Kersey couldn't quite make it. It went out for a goal kick, which Alex Mitchell has taken quickly. He goes to centre half. Cousin Dawson, who lovely flick from Hooper, goes to McGowan, and now is Aitken on the right wing. Just goes into the box, looks to loop a ball over. It's blocked well by Havern, but great run there from Aitken down the right hand side. Had a bit of space. Perhaps we'll be disappointed with not being able to put that ball into the area. As Harry Arneson has time on the ball just inside the Park Avenue half, opts to turn back and play it to Finn Cousin Dawson. Cousin Dawson takes his time and finds Clark inside, who then goes to Arneson. Arneson, lovely ball to Callaghan. I beg your pardon, not Callaghan, McGowan. And McGowan trying to find the run of Arneson back. Left no option for Michelund to hoof it clear, and Harrison Clark, sorry, will take the throw in on this right hand side. And it'll go backwards, but Arneson will quite easily just knock it past Jordan Preston into his own half. And Blyth remain in control of the ball. Substitute Harry Arneson now picks up the ball and looks to try and play it onto the right wing, but it's a poor ball and cut out by the head of Will Callaghan, but that head falls to Harrison Clark's feet. Plays a great ball from right to left over into that far left corner, looking for Cedric May. Lucas Dunstan does well to defend against Cedric, but the ball will run out for a Blyth corner, and they will send the big lads forward from the back. Bodenham and Cousin Dawson go forward. It will be McGowan to take, run into the corner with his arms in the air. He's not got the ball ready yet. His arms are still in the air. It must be a sign, you'd think. The ball comes in, out swinger. And Sykes Kenworthy does well. Inside his 6-yard box to collect it. Quick throw out from the back to Preston, who's driving now with room in front of him. Tries to play a ball to Callaghan. Preston perhaps had more room to drive there. Look for a ball in behind the defence for Callaghan. And it was well defended by Harry Arneson. Main goes back to McGowan, and now it's out wide with Clark, who then goes forward to Aitken and back to Arneson, who takes time and controls it and goes back to Cousin Dawson. Cousin Dawson goes to Bodenham, and Bodenham looks to split the defence with a ball low and hard. Looking for Cedric Main, but the ball now comes out onto the left-hand side for Blyth. And an attempted ball into the area is blocked, but Liddell will regain it and go back to Bodenham. 9 minutes gone in extra time here, as Blyth's goalkeeper Mitchell will go out to right back Clark. Plenty of time on the ball at the back for Blyth. He goes forward and tries to play a ball into Hooper, whose touch isn't quite as nice and doesn't come off this time, as we've seen it has done in this game. It just falls to Lancaster's feet, but Park Avenue struggle to control the ball, and this time the ball comes to Lewis Hay, and his clearance just goes straight out of play. He'll be disappointed with that, and Blyth will look to capitalise on it, you'd imagine. Clark with the throw-in. About 5-10 yards inside the Park Avenue half. Not many options right now. Still has the ball in his hands, and he goes forward, and McGowan ran away from it, and Lancaster read it and control the ball, and the ball goes forward then to Preston, and the challenge comes in from Harrison Clark, and Park Avenue will have a throw-in taken by Lewis Hay, the left-back. He finds Harry Colvin. They play a little 1-2 and go inside. Lewis Hay, and Callaghan does well to keep the ball and turn inside, but a great challenge there from Cousin Dawson meant that the ball just squirmed itself away from Callaghan's feet, who did well to turn him initially. Good recovery challenge. Ball going forward from Blyth. Havern with a little flick on header. Beat Lewis Hay, and here goes Aitken, and the ball comes into the area. And good header clear from Zach Kersey, I believe it was. Just chances coming down this right-hand side, potentially, for Blyth Spartans, since the substitute of Charlie Aitken coming on for what looked like he may have picked up a knock, Joe Oliver, late in the second half. It'll be McGowan to take the throw-in again for Blyth, out from the right-hand side, an in-swinging corner. The ball goes in, and Sykes Kenworthy collects once more. And he looks to play it early, kicks it forward, and the header, he was looking for Will Callaghan there, but the header from Clark just goes out wide to Aitken, and him and Clark play a little 1-2, and goes through Will Callaghan's feet, but back to Hay, and Park Avenue now have the ball. Hay plays the ball to central midfielder Lancaster, who shifts it onto the right wing, and the Dunstan's rushed off the ball there by Liddell, the captain. And the foul is made by Lucas Dunstan. You think he'll go into the book there. He will in the 102nd minute. With a free kick for Blyth that you'd imagine McGowan will take, as he has done all day long. It's about 40, 45 yards from goal. Shirley got across from this position as Cousin Dawson and Bodenham go forward. Of course, JJ Hooper is a big lad in that box as well. One-man wall for Park Avenue. The ball comes in from McGowan. Looking, and it comes down seconds. Main, effort on goal. Good save by Sykes Kenworthy down to his right-hand side. Main did well there to control it. Just come inside on the edge of the area and hit a ball just hard and low to the left bottom corner. But Sykes Kenworthy was wise to it and just comfortably controlled the ball with a good save. Ball goes forward now for Park Avenue. Is that Kersey chasing down Harrison Clark? Clark does well to play the ball back to Cousin Dawson. Cousin Dawson clears, but no further than Lewis Hay, who does a fantastic touch in mid-air. And he plays the ball inside to Lancaster, and Lancaster goes out now to Doherty, and Dunstan was racing past him. But Doherty struggles to keep control of the ball, and it will go out for a Blyth throw-in. They'll choose to just throw back towards their central defenders, with Bodenham now taking his time on the ball and switching it over to his counterpart, Finn Cousin Dawson. Back to Bodenham and back to the Blyth goalkeeper, Alex Mitchell. 113 minutes gone now, 2 minutes left in this half of extra time. 1-1 is the score between Park Avenue and Blyth Spartans, as the ball is won in the middle of the park by Havern. And Havern just left one in there on McGowan. Referee just wants to have a chat with him, I think, as the free kick is given inside the centre circle, just inside Blyth Spartans' half. It'll be Cousin Dawson who takes it. He takes it short and quick into the feet of Harry Arneson, who shifts it out wide onto the left-hand side to Jack Bodenham. Bodenham's ball's wasteful, however, and finds Kersey now of Park Avenue, who goes to Harry Colvin, and Harry Colvin goes out to Doherty, and that's twice where Brad Doherty now has lost control of the ball. Throwing goes into the middle of the park from Blyth into Elliot Forbes' feet, who turns and drives forward a little bit. Out to Cousin Dawson now, who's allowed to enter the Park Avenue half, and he goes into goal scorer McGowan, and back to Forbes, and he goes out wide looking for Aitken, and Lewis Hayes wise to just clear that away. Less than a minute left of this half. Throw-in will be taken here by Harrison Clark. Clark tried to take it in to McGowan. McGowan just can't quite get control as he tried to take the ball over his shoulder as Havern goes forward. And it's well controlled by Jordan Preston, who comes out onto the left wing, where Will Callaghan won't be able to do too much with the ball as he goes back to Hay. And foul is given. No, that is the half-time whistle here in extra time. 1-1 still here at the Horsefall between Park Avenue and Blyth Spartans. We will just have a short break and I'll be back with you for the second half and potentially penalties here in the Emirates FA Cup second qualifying round replay. And the teams are now back out for the second half of extra time. Blyth to get us underway with Will McGowan taking the kickoff. No substitutions made so far here in the second half of extra time. Nothing there as the kickoff is taken. And to the man with the armband now, Michael Liddell. Of course, JJ O'Donnell started the game with the armband, but exited the field at the 70th minute, replaced by Harry Arneson. Liddell just playing the ball comfortably with Bodenham, and Bodenham finds cousin Dawson at the back. 15 minutes here to play in extra time before penalties. 1-1 at the Horsefall Stadium as Bodenham looks to play a ball forward and it's loose but can't be controlled by Will Callaghan, but it'll still nonetheless run out for a Park Avenue ball. Goals came early in the game in the 10th and 12th minute. First for Park Avenue with Brad Doherty with a great effort in the 10th minute, and the equaliser came only 2 minutes later with Will McGowan hitting home in the 12th to make it 1-1 in the FA Cup replay. As Will Callaghan does really well on the turn, driving towards the defence of Blyth Spartans. He goes out to Jordan Preston, who has time to cut back on his right foot, potentially stands up his man. And looking for the overlap of Hay. Hay's ball will not enter the area as it's blocked by substitute Charlie Aitken, but it'll come back to Jordan Preston, who finds Hay, and Hay does really well to drop his shoulder and beats Aitken this time. His ball goes to Harry Colville on the edge of the box. Will Colville create enough room for a shot? No, he won't, but it'll come out to Doherty on the right-hand side. He puts the ball across. Oh, wow. And that was not far off from Will Callaghan. That was not far off. Harry Colville did really well just to keep control of the ball on the edge of the area after being put under pressure by Cedric Main. His pass went out wide to Doherty, who's low cross, across the 6-yard box. Couldn't quite find a man as it went out for a corner. Now the ball's put in, and the goalkeeper's made a mistake there. Goalkeeper came for the corner there and just couldn't quite get a hold of it, and it just tipped it over himself, and it was cleared away by a Blyth defender. As goal scorer McGowan does well to keep the ball in the middle for Blyth Spartans. He plays it across field and it goes through the referee's legs to Bodenham, who absolutely leathers the ball into JJ Hooper. He'd do really well to control that. As Liddell throws the ball in now for Blyth, looking for Main, and it's intercepted, but Main brings it back and puts the ball across himself. Oh, and how has that not gone in? It's not gone in because it was a corner. Fantastic defending from Lewis Hay. Cedric Main did really well to win the ball back there, driving towards the 6-yard box next to the byline. He put the ball across, and you've got to say, if that shot's on target, that's 2-1 there. Ball went across. Lewis Hay must have done everything to put his body in the way of that for the ball to go out for a corner. 2 big chances for either side there, as the corner will come in from this left-hand side of Blyth Spartans. It will be McGowan's outswinger. He puts it into the box. Headers won. Ball's bouncing around. What's going on? Wow. Again. Nearly a goal for Blyth Spartans. Main did really well, but he couldn't quite do it as George Sykes came with. He came up big. 2 massive chances there. Ball comes clear finally for Park Avenue, but wow, could have been 2-1 for sure there twice. And a great turn there from Brad Doherty, but the ref doesn't see it as a foul, and Blyth will regain the ball at the back. A few more chances coming now as the game is opening up with some tired legs as the ball goes forward out onto the left wing for Cedric Main, who's now driving out of Dunstan. Main puts the ball across the area. Header, goal, Blyth Spartans, great header towards the back post for JJ Hooper, and it is celebrations for Blyth Spartans. 2-1 here in the 120th minute. No, 110th, sorry. Gotta say, he's not scored at full time. There is still 10 minutes to go. Park Avenue not happy as they thought that Brad Doherty was fouled in play, but fantastic work from Cedric Main out on this left-hand side. He did well to put a ball across into the area, and it was the slightest of flick-on headers towards the backstick from Jonathan JJ Hooper to make it 2-1 to Blyth Spartans with 10 minutes to go here in extra time. 2-1. Jordan Preston will get us back underway. Harry Colville, Park Avenue now going to have to throw the kitchen sink at it if they want to get something from this now. Mitch Lund with the ball at the back goes to Harry Colville. Colville to Doherty. And Doherty struggles once more, but he goes well and keeps driving. He wins the ball back. Doherty driving at the defence, still going. Will Preston get there? He won't. The ball will run away with him with the water on the surface, just perhaps overplayed a little bit. And less than 10 minutes to go now. The score is 2-1 to Blyth Spartans here at the Horsefall Stadium. Goal kick taken by Mitchell goes out to Cousin Dawson, who looks long. And the ball will come to Mitch Lund, who can't quite gain control of it, but he'll win the second header. And he looks to go forward, and Callaghan tries his best to make amends. Ball back from Harrison Clark is cleared by Alex Mitchell and goes forward. Big header won by Jean-Luc Haverne. But Colville can't win the second ball. Bodenham goes out wide to Liddell, and Liddell slices his opportunity as we look to be seeing a substitution late from Blyth Spartans. Not quite yet. Dunstan with the ball in hand just inside his own half. 112 minutes gone now. Just 8 minutes left to play. Ball going forward for Blyth Spartans. Mitch Lund does well to just outstrength JJ Hooper, the goal scorer, in extra time. And the ball goes forward, and Will Callaghan can't quite get there. Goalkeeper Alex Mitchell out to collect the ball. And he'll just take his time now, picking his option. His kick doesn't quite go as planned, but it still makes it fairly deep into the Park Avenue half as Lund goes forward, looking for Doherty, and Doherty can't quite control the ball as Boddenham wins the header, and the ball goes forward and out for a Park Avenue throw-in, as we will see a substitution now in the 113th minute. It will be John Shaw coming on to the field for number 9 and goal scorer JJ Hooper. Took his goal excellently there in the 110th minute with a flick-on header towards the back post. He's got to say he's had a good game, even though perhaps he hasn't had too many chances. When the chance did come his way, he took it. On comes centre-half John Shaw, who's gone straight in at the back. John Shaw used to playing in Yorkshire after spending time with Sheffield Wednesday before coming on to see out the game for Blyth Spartans. Dunstan takes the throw and goes back to Mitch Lund, who finds Sykes Kenworthy. And Havern will go back to Sykes Kenworthy. He will find Lancaster now, and deep line set for Blyth Spartans with only Charlie Aitken, the 82nd minute substitute, doing the pressing up there. It's a 5-4-1 now for Blyth Spartans. Preston has the ball and looks to switch it, and there's a slip by defender Liddell, the captain, right now, and Kersey will have a chance to put a ball in the box perhaps from this right hand side, but that is blocked and will go out for a corner here on the right hand side for Park Avenue. You've got to feel there's not many chances left in this game, but this could be one of them for Park Avenue to make it level. The ball is in swinging into the box. Over it comes, it's deep, and it's over everybody and straight out of play. And Blyth will take that every day of the week. Just over 5 minutes left to play here at the Horsefall. Blyth leading 2-1 after going 1-0 behind in the first half. Jonathan Hooper, J. Hooper, scoring the goal with a great flick-on header in the 110th minute. The second half here in extra time at the Horsefall. As Alex Mitchell puts the ball down on his 6-yard area and will play the ball long. He goes forward and it's won by Mitch Lund. And Doherty does well to hold the ball up and tries to control it. And it's handball by, I believe, yes, it was Harry Arneson there, around 45-50 yards from goal. And it's taken quickly by Preston. Out to left back Lewis Hay. And Hay may put the ball into the box, but he won't. He'll put it into Preston's feet, who plays it back to Hay and just can't quite break through the lines of Blyth, but they will do this time. And Callaghan puts a ball into the area. Oh, and there was 2 bodies queuing up, but it was Zach Kersey who'll keep it in. And Kersey dancing, and he's still in the box. He still made it in, and the ball's chipped over. And great goalkeeping. Jordan Preston with an effort on goal, and great block by the Blyth defence. Keeper beaten there, did well eventually to just flick it over, and it fell to Jordan Preston at the back, and his effort was blocked, and it went out for a corner to be taken here for Bradford Park Avenue. Just over 3 minutes left here in the second half of extra time. Spartans leading 2-1. Another in-swinging corner to come into the area. Plenty of bodies in that box. The ball fizzed into the edge. It's Hay. He'll put an effort on goal, and that will go comfortably wide of Alex Mitchell's goal. You feel like a ball into the box may have served better purpose there. Brad Doherty does Alex Mitchell's job for him and puts the ball on the edge of the 6-yard box. Of course, Mitchell doesn't see that as where he wants to take it and just moves it over to the other side as he will about to take his goal kick. 3 minutes left here at the Horsefall. Blyth leading 2-1 through JJ Hooper's flick-on header in the 110th minute. Ball bouncing in the half of Park Avenue, and it's gone through. And it's 3-1. That's game over right there. Bouncing ball in the middle of the park. It was Cedric Main, the Suriname-born striker, who's done really well today. He's driven through. Poor communication, poor defending, perhaps some tired legs at the back. Left George Sykes Kenworthy stranded. Cedric Main just knocked it around him, left him in no man's land, and thundered it into the net. 3-1 Blyth Spartans, and you think that is all she wrote. Kick-off taken by Preston. Just 2 minutes left in extra time. You'd think Park Avenue would need more than a miracle now as Callaghan goes driving forward with the ball and goes inside to Jordan Preston. He goes out to Kersey, who does well to control the ball and drives infield. Good press by Cedric Main, and he's kept running all day. He's been fantastic. Sykes Kenworthy receives the ball at the back and goes out to Luca Haverne, who finds Will Lancaster, goes into Callaghan and back to Haverne and chips it over the top, looking for Lancaster, but headed away well by Harrison Clark. The defence of Blyth Spartans have been solid as anything this evening. Alex Mitchell knocks the ball forward, won by Cedric Main, the third goal scorer for Blyth Spartans, and it'll go back to Sykes Kenworthy, whose clearance is sky high, and Dunstan can't win the ball, and it falls to first goal scorer McGowan. His pass looking for Main, can't quite reach him. Preston picks up the ball in the middle and does well to beat 2 or 3 men there. Plays the ball out onto the left-hand side to Hay. He goes out further onto the left wing to Will Callaghan, as in we're in the last minute of extra time here. 3-1 Blyth Spartans. Preston puts a ball all the way across the field looking for Zach Kersey, but it's headed away comfortably by Liddell. And Cedric Main driving forward here. Still going. Cuts back inside. Big challenge in from Zach Kersey. Did well to win the ball as there's 20 seconds left of extra time. Ball goes forward, looking for Preston, but the offside flag goes up. Referee will play advantage. However, as Blyth pick up the ball, and good ball over the top by Elliot Forbes, looking for substitute Charlie Aitken. He'll just keep the ball in this left corner, will he? No, he'll drive into the box, goes back onto his right foot. The ball comes to Cedric Main, who looks to put an effort on goal, and that'll go into the hands of George Sykes Kenworthy, who goes out wide to Lewis Hay. We're now past the 120th minute here at the Horsfall Stadium. Lancaster with the ball on the halfway line goes out to a Dunstan. A Dunstan driving forward. Finds Zach Kersey on the right wing. Lancaster plays it inside to Harry Colville. Does well to get there. Preston looking for Doherty over the top, but can't quite as it's defended by the big head of Finn Cousin-Dawson, who does well there. And Aitken driving forward with the ball now, just looks to be going towards the corner flag and trying to kill the game that looks like it's almost done. Throw in that corner for Mitch Lund to take, it looks like. Got to be a matter of seconds left now as 121 minutes have been played. Dunstan tries to sneak a few too many yards and the referee sends him back. Throw-in comes down, referee looks at his watch, still playing here at the Horsfall. Liddell wins the ball, goes to McGowan. Little triangles with Bodenham and Forbes. Back to Bodenham. Bodenham back to the substitute, John Shaw, who shifts it out wide to Cousin-Dawson with time on the ball. Into Forbes and into McGowan. He goes to Bodenham with plenty of time on the ball. Into McGowan. And there is no pace in the game whatsoever as the full-time whistle is blown here after 122 minutes at the Horsfall Stadium. Emirates FA Cup second qualifying round replay finishes Blyth Spartans 3, Park Avenue 1. Just a recap on the game. Goal for Park Avenue at the very start of the game, in the first 10 minutes. In the 10th minute, in fact, Brad Doherty cut inside from the left wing and did really well to thunder an effort into the top right corner, which was Bradford Park Avenue's only goal of the day. Instant reply, however, for Blyth Spartans with a well-taken goal from Will McGowan, who started with the ball at his feet outside the box and did well to dance inside and place the ball into the bottom right-hand corner. That was it all the way up until the 110th minute, where a header from JJ Hooper, after some great work from Cedric Main, meant that Blyth took the lead 2-1, and Cedric Main was rewarded for his tough work with a goal for himself after just tapping it round the stranded George Sykes Kenworthy to make it 3-1 in the 118th minute, meaning that Blyth Spartans go on to face Worksop Town in the next round of the FA Cup. I've been Arthur Difford here for Park Avenue. Please come down and join us for the Workington fixture on Saturday at the Horsefall Stadium. But as for tonight, that's it.